Hey guys, I am going to go through the quiz from Friday and show you how I would have worked all of those. So number one says, what is the equation and slope-intercept form of the graph? So the first thing I would have done is notice that your y-intercept is the ordered pair 0, 5. So that would be B. And then that means that what we need is just our slope. And so we're going to do rise over run. And I would use 0, 5. And then I also see another point at 1, 3. So you could do rise over run if you had it written out, or you would just do use the formula. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You keep change to get negative 2 over 1. And so your slope would be negative 2. So your equation is y equals negative 2x plus 5, which was answer B. Number 2, write an equation in slope-intercept form using the point negative 2, 5, and 1/2. Negative 2, 5, and your slope is 1/2. So if I have my slope, that means the only thing I need is my y-intercept. So I'm going to use my equation and plug in what I have. Here's x, there's y, and there's m, and now I can solve for b. So that'll be 5 is equal to 1/2 times negative 2 plus b. That'd be 5 is equal to negative 1 plus b. And then we're going to add 1 to both sides to get that b is equal to 6. So my equation is y equals 1/2 x plus 6. And that was answer choice B. All right, number 3. What kind of line is created if the slope is undefined? So hopefully you can think of our little slope guy. And an undefined slope is the u. That would be a vertical line. Number 4. A cab company charges $6 to pick someone up plus 50 cents per mile driven. If the total cost of the trip is $9, how many miles were driven? In order to solve this, you need to write the equation and then solve it. So it's $6 to pick someone up, so that's what you're starting with, which means that is your y-intercept. It's 50 cents per mile, so that would be your slope. So your equation is y equals 0.5x plus 6. If the cost of the trip is $9, so all of this is equal to 9, so that means y is 9. And we want to solve for x, which x is the number of miles driven. So we would subtract 6 on both sides to get 3 is equal to 0.5x. And then in order to solve, you are going to divide both sides by 0.5 to get that x is equal to 6 miles. Number 5. The cost to run a bounce house is given in the table below. Write an equation in slope-intercept form. So I would, here's our table. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the hours. And here is the cost for those hours. So first I would solve to get b, and I would just work backwards. So I'm subtracting 1. So if I subtract 1 from 1, I get 0 in my x's. In my y's, I'm subtracting 20. So I would subtract 20 again to get 100. So my y-intercept is 100. And now I can solve and get my slope. So here's x1, y1, x2, y2. And that would be 140 minus 120 over 2 minus 1. and that would be 20 over 1, so my slope is 20. So my equation is y equals 20x plus 100. Number 6, we need to rewrite the equation 6x plus 4y is equal to 24. So we need to put it in slope-intercept form. So we're going to subtract 6x on both sides. We cannot subtract that from 24 because they're not like terms. And then we're going to divide both sides by 4. And remember, you divide everything by 4. And that would be y is equal to a negative 3 halves. That's when you simplify that. Plus 6. The graph for number 7, the graph of the equation y equals 3/4 x minus 2 is shown. Which table of values best represents ordered pairs on the graph? So I would first look at my graph and see, all right, I have a y-intercept of negative 2, so that means that the ordered pair 0, negative 2 definitely has to be on there. And let me see which one does not. B does not have that on there. And so then I would just go through all of them and see which ones have something that they don't. A, negative 8, that is on there. It's got 0, negative 2, and 4, negative 1. For negative 1 it does not have, so it's definitely not A. And we also said that it was not D, or it was not, sorry. We also said it was not B because it did not have that 0, negative 2. So now let's look at C and D. So Z has 0, negative 2, and C also has, let's see, 1, 4. That is not on there. So C is not the answer. And we are left with D, which is negative 4, negative 5. That is on there. 0, negative 2 is, and so is 4, 1. Number 8. Write the following equation in slope-intercept form. So our equation is y minus 8 is equal to 7 minus 2x minus 4. So our first step here is going to be to distribute, since we can't combine in those parentheses. We get y minus 8 is equal to 7 minus 2x plus 4. Then we're going to combine our like terms right here. We get y minus 8 is equal to a negative 2x plus 11. And then I'm going to add 8 on both sides to get rid of the 8. So now I have y equals mx plus b, which is exactly what you want. Now number 9, you have to choose the graph for the following equation. So your equation was y equals 3 halves x minus 2. We'll just go through each one of these. So for A, I would first always look at your y-intercept. That's usually the easiest to tell. So on A, that has a positive y-intercept, so that's not the answer. B also has a positive y-intercept, so that's not the answer. C has a negative y-intercept, so that could be. And D has a positive y-intercept, so that is not the answer. So that one was pretty easy because the only choice would be C since the y-intercept. And then if there were 2, then you would use your slope and see which one has a slope of 3 halves. Number 10, sorry, we're going to do the same thing. Y is equal to x plus 1 half. So we need to figure out which graph goes with that. So we have a positive y-intercept right here that we're looking for. A has a positive y-intercept. B has a positive y-intercept, but it's 3, so I can look at that and say, I know that's not right. C has a negative y-intercept, so that's not right. And D has a positive y-intercept, but the y-intercept is 2, so that is not correct. So our only answer there would be A. Number 11, we need to write an equation for a horizontal line that goes through the point negative 2, negative 5. So if we think about our horizontal line, Here's your graph. Your horizontal line is going to be like this, which means it's going to go through the y-axis. So since it goes through the y-axis, the equation is y equals whatever your y value is in the ordered pair. Number 12, we need to write an equation in slope-intercept form using the point -4, 5, and 2, -1. So we first need to find our slope. So we have x1, y1, x2, y2. So that would be -1 minus 5 over 2 minus a -4. Do keep change to get -6 over 6, which means we have a -1 as our slope. And now we need to pick an ordered pair and plug it into our equation to figure out what is b. I'm going to use this ordered pair. So y is -1. My slope is -1. The x value is 2. And now I can solve for b. So it'd be -1 is equal to -2 plus b. We're going to add 2 to both sides. And we get that b is equal to 1. So our equation is y equals a -1x plus 1. If y'all have any questions, just let me know.